What is up, beautiful people of YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Out doing a vlog today, which I don't do very often, but hey, let's give it a try. So I just hit my 1,000 miles on the ST. I did my 1,000-mile service, and I figured we would take some time to reflect on this bike and what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and the upgrades I've done or plan on doing down the road and whatnot, right? So, right away, I'm just going to cut to the chase, spare you the bullcrap. I love this bike. I absolutely love this bike. I do not regret getting rid of that Indian. You know, here in the fabulous world of YouTube, most people don't possess the ability of, like, critical thought, and they think because you get rid of one thing that you must, like, hate that brand. No, I love Indian motorcycles. I absolutely love them. But no brand is perfect. And to me, Indian got boring. Like, they've basically all but abandoned the Thunderstroke engine at this point. And I was bored with the bike, and there was just nothing left I could do with it. And people were like, oh, you could do a big bore from Lloyd's. That's literally the only frickin' thing. Cool. And let me take a reliable bike and make it unreliable. Just not what I wanted. This bike, I've already made it my own, and I absolutely love that. You know, will I ever buy an Indian again? Maybe. I'm not against them. I suggest them for people. I've got one coming in for service this week. Customer who bought an Indian off my recommendation, and he loves the bike. So, I mean, take that however you want to take it. But it's just always amazing anytime, like, you post something up saying, like, hey, you know, I got rid of this and went to that. Like, the little dick army shows up, and they got to beat their chest to tell you why you're an idiot and their brand's better. Like, okay, limp dick, that's good for you, but that's not what I want. You know, like, to rest your entire personality on what brand of bike you ride or what brand of whatever you do is just asinine. But you see it in every hobby. Oh, you don't have an AR from Geisley? You're just a total loser. I don't get it, man, but that's just the way people are. So, like I said, so far I'm loving the bike, but the bike has not been without an issue. I've had to put a little bit of money into it to get it to where I wanted it to be, as well as I've had one failure on this bike, and it was a tiny failure, but it was a failure nonetheless, so I am going to report it to you guys, and that is the left front turn signal stopped working at the 2-week mark. At 2 weeks old, the bulb went out. Now, I get it. It's like $2 to put a bulb in, and it's really not worth mentioning, but here's the problem with that, okay? This is a $24,000 motorcycle. Those are incandescent bulbs. That is unacceptable. Completely unacceptable. But don't worry. Harley has LED lights ready to sell to you at $300. And I think that's total bullshit that on a bike like this, I think this is the most expensive softail you can get. Don't hold me to that, but I believe that's true. And you don't get LED turn signals. That is just completely ridiculous. There's some damage. We had tornadoes roll through. In fact, for the third time in 18 months, a tornado narrowly missed our house and our shop. So, in fact, this one we got some video of. It was on Facebook. I'm gonna see if I can try to roll it in. If I found it, I'm gonna roll it in right now. So, what did you not like about this bike, Nick? Like I said, overall, it's a pretty good bike. Pretty good bike. But the first thing I had to do is I had to get some risers. Stock, the bars just sit way too low. So the risers I went with, these are the Bone King 6 up, 2 back. So they rose the bars, I think, 3 inches over where they were factory, but they kicked them back 2 inches towards me. This gives you this real nice locked in position here. Saddleman seat, like I always have. I love Saddleman seats. And I had to change the pegs out, which, I mean, everybody does anyways, right? But, you know, the mids, they were pretty comfortable for me. I still have mids. But I bought these mini floorboards from Cross Thread Cycle, and they moved my feet forward, I don't know, maybe 2 inches, and it's just absolutely perfect now. I feel like I sit on the bike real well. I have great control. The bike's super nimble. It's everything I want. So, oh, we got a funeral. Try to be a little bit respectful here. Just pull to the side. Just gonna pull into this parking lot. Well, while that funeral goes by, I'll take a second to show you guys a couple things here on the bike. Show you where we're at, what I've done. Alrighty, so I got my Zero phone mount like always. ODI Vans grips. Handlebar bag. There's those Bung King risers right there. Saddleman San Diego Customs Pro seat with the backrest. Really like that. Done a lay down license plate. I've upgraded my turn signals to LED because, you know, Harley. I got these from Hogworks. And then I've got the TC Bros crash bar with Bung King highway pegs. There's the cross thread mini floorboards. You see there, you got 3 mounting positions. I've got them all the way forward. And then on the back, I got some Zero minis for my daughter. But that's where I'm at with this thing. The funeral's gone, so let's get back at it. Like I said, I just did my first service on it, my 1,000-mile service. Changed everything with Redline oils. I totally forgot to point out that I have S&S slip-ons on here. Eventually, probably this winter, maybe. The goal is to put a 2-into-1 and a S&S 475 cam with a tune and better air cleaner on this thing. But right now, I'm just trying to get the most out of this warranty, seeing if I got a limit or not, because that does happen. So I just put slip-ons, no tune required with the slip-ons, use my warranty intact. I did put a 8-inch Clockworks windshield on here. If you look, that is the stock windshield on this bike right now. So emphasis on the word I did put one on. You know, I've had Clockworks windshields on every bike I've ever had with a fairing, and historically I have absolutely loved them. My experience on this fairing, on this Lowrider ST, is that the Clockworks windshield is a waste of money. I had the 8-inch, and at about 70, I would start to buff it. You know, I'd start doing the wobble. So I went and bought the 10-inch Clockworks, because everybody's like, oh, you got to get the 10-inch, you got to get the 10-inch. The 10-inch held me over to about 75, and then again, get the wobble. The stock windscreen, you get more air, but it's clean air. I could do 120 with no head bobble on this thing. So, for me, it was a no-go on the Clockworks, which is a shame. They're not cheap. So I have two $250 windshields sitting at the shop, if anyone wants to buy one for their bike. Will tell you guys, though, man, I love the way this 117 pulls. Good Lord. Like, when I ride with other people, I'm pretty much having to stay like quarter throttle, because if I give it anything more than quarter throttle, I'm just dusting everybody on this thing. Not saying it'll beat every bike out there, but everybody I've rode with, it's straight smoking. Once you get a cam and a tune and stuff in here, it'll only get better. absolute blast to ride, man. Absolute blast. It is 200 pounds lighter than that Indian was, and it is so much more noticeable. Like, I got to the point where I kind of like, I was always grabbing a chopper to go out, which, hey, don't get me wrong, I love choppers. I own 4 of them. But, you know, sometimes you want to take your bagger out for a ride, I guess. But the Indian, I just never really wanted to ride it anymore. I did not love it. I don't know, man. I can't explain it. It just got to the point where every time I'd look at it, like, I had a disdain for that bike. In fact, when I traded it in, the battery was dead because it had set for so long without me riding it. And this bike, I actually have not rode a single one of my choppers in the last 3 weeks. Every time I want to go for a ride, this is the bike that I've been grabbing. So this is the bike I'm taking to Tennessee in a few weeks for the motorcycle revival. Alright guys, so we're out here at the graffiti wall. I'm going to give you guys a better look at the bike. She's dirty, and that's because I ride her. There's those S&S slip-ons. I'm going to fire that up real quick, let you hear them. Freaking plant cum on everything. My wife gets kind of irritated whenever I call pollen plant cum, but that's what it is. The plants are just jizzing on all of us. Yeah, she needs good washing. She's covered in bugs. Like I said, I threw the factory screen back on. But overall, for the most part, I'm loving this bike. I had to figure out some stuff with the highway pegs and the right floorboards, but overall, everything's good. Some nice scratches just scuffing from my boot. So, like I said on the way out here, guys, I am absolutely loving this bike. You know, there's some stuff I wish Harley would correct on it, but we all know they won't. The price point, I feel like, is probably $3 to $4 grand higher than it should be for what you get, right? So the big question is, well, Nick, why did you buy this bike, and why at this time, right? Because I had that Indian for 2 years, that Springfield for 2 years before I decided that it just wasn't doing it for me anymore. Well, guys, frankly, with everything that's going on with our government, with the EPA, I'm a firm believer that in probably the next 3 to 5 years, you're going to have a hard time finding a bike like this. They're going after everybody hard, and the manufacturers are putting all this tech on to accommodate what they're wanting. So I saw this as one of the final chances I may get in my life to buy a bike that comes with none of the bullshit. This bike has none of the tech. And that was the big thing, like, why this instead of like a road glide or a street glide or something? Because I don't want all the tech, all that stuff. It's stuff that fails. I just want a stripped down bike that I can ride, right? So this thing, I've got the fairing for the wind protection, nothing else. There is really nothing on here to go wrong. There's ABS. But other than that, there's no navigation. There's just no heated grips. There's just none of that crap. And ultimately, I think where the space is going with the variable valve timing and just all the other stuff, all the rider aids and stuff, you're just not going to be able to get a stripped down bike before too long. Like, they're just going to be loaded with so much tech, and with that tech, it's going to drive the prices way up, and you're going to have just the problems you have with tech. You know, I worked in a dealership setting for a long, long time, and most of the issues we ever dealt with were tech-related issues. It's very rare that you saw like a true like mechanical failure of stuff. It was almost always electrical, almost always. So I really wanted to hop on a bike. I mean, will this be my forever bike? I don't know. I really love this bike. There's a strong chance it could be. I mean, it's so hard to believe that a Harley can lean over as hard as this thing does. Like, let me show you this back tire. Like, my chicken strip is just right there. That's all I got. That little bit. And once I get her down to Tennessee, we'll probably be able to get that little bit of chicken strip out of her. Oh, this bike handles like a dream, rides like a dream. I just absolutely love it. You know, I had a few things to get sorted out with getting my feet positioned just right. That is good. Going back to the factory screen helped a lot. So if you're on the fence about that clockwork screen, it didn't work for me. You know, I tried the 8, I tried the 10. If you know, I'm 5'8" with a 29-inch inseam, if that helps you any. And yeah, other than that, man, the bike is phenomenal. I absolutely love it. It's amazing. At this point, things are just kind of starting to get a little bit redundant, so I think I'm going to close this video out, guys. I love each and every one of you. Thanks for watching. Please give this video a big thumbs up, comment below, subscribe if you aren't already subscribed. And in the description box below, there's links to all my social media, as well as our company website, hotheadstalls.com, where we make everything for horses, as well as dog leashes and dog collars right here in the U.S. I will see you all in the next one. I love you all. I'm out of here.